I went inside the room and I just remember like when I get nervous, I do a lot of like dumb little things. So like I walked inside and I was like, first of all, and I just like started bowing at like both of them. I was like, this bow is more than just this like Broadway thing. Okay. I just need you guys to know that. Like I literally said something like that and they started giggling, and I think Gloria really appreciated that. And then I performed and I like went around, like I just threw myself. I was like, let's go. Like how much more real can we get than like someone from Miami? I think just being yourself.
Right.
So they loved it. And then I think they loved it because 2 days later, my agent Ricky calls me and he was like, so how do you want to, like, how does it feel to be on Broadway? Like, would you want to be on Broadway? And I'm like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? Wow. This is not happening. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. God, get some.
Thank you, Sunday best.
Chris, you wanna do a vocal warm-up?
You can go like, yeah. Oh, there it is.
Now remember red leather, yellow leather?
Red leather, yellow leather,
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather,
Yes.
red leather, yellow leather.
Oh my God.
Topeka bodega, Topeka bodega.
Topeka bodega.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
New York. Honestly, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Bald version, but still beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, I am also very ecstatic to jump into today's episode. You know what I'm saying? Christian, are you as ecstatic as I am today, my good friend?
I'm nervous.
Oh, man, there's nothing to be nervous about.
I didn't think I'd be nervous. She's not even a fighter.
Oh, man, she's
But I feel like I'm still about to get my ass kicked.
Oh, man, she got a fighting heart. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Before we get to introducing the mammoth of a guest that we have today, ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Go on Spotify, go on Apple Podcasts, on Deezer. Bro, you hit my DM, I'll get you a damn cassette, bro. We hustlers, we figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Christian, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. How has your week been? Can we please give it up for my co-host today, Christian Bickett?
Oh my God, I needed to hear your voice. I needed to hear you ask me how my week has been going.
God, that's beautiful.
My brother, because why hasn't anyone in my personal life asked me that question?
Right.
Why aren't any of you concerned about how I'm doing? I always ask you how you're doing. Actually, my week's been going great. Everyone in my personal life is awesome.
But
I'm just kidding. This week has been fucking magical.
It has been magical. It has been magical. We did a little networking the other night, you know what I'm saying?
We did?
We went to watch a production at Miami New Drama, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out Miami New Drama, you know what I'm saying?
Miami New
Shout out, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? What was it? What production did we go watch?
We saw Monica and Hillary.
Yeah, when Monica met Hillary, you know what I'm saying? Phenomenal production. That was an original work. Man, phenomenal performances, you know what I'm saying? God, wow.
Shout out Mia Matthews.
Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, you know what I'm saying? We got camera woman extraordinaire, Katya in his house. Katya, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Happy to be here with the three of you.
Okay, God, man, you know what I'm saying? God, that's nursing voice. It nurses my soul, you know what I'm saying? It really does, you know what I'm saying? It just nurses my soul. And speaking about nursing my soul, ladies and gentlemen, God, how do I put into words the guests that we have before us, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, the woman that I have before me, you know what I'm saying, is an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, the woman that I have before me is a singer. Ladies and gentlemen, the woman that I have before me is a dancer.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coveted triple threat in the theater. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever in the hallowed Midnight in Miami halls, we have Christie Prades. Oh my God. Christie, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm sweating. I need Gatorade. I need to replenish these electrolytes, hydrolytes, whatever they're called. I don't do nursing, bro. We got a nurse in case I pass out.
We might need it.
Yo, for real. God, I damn near rear naked choked myself. Christie, how are you?
I am so much better now. How do I even match up to this? I don't even know where to start.
Your presence alone is doing it. You know what I'm saying?
This coffee is doing it too.
Oh, man.
We are on.
Oh, that's Miami coffee. You know what I'm saying? Got that special. Oh, yeah. Christie, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. This episode is a movie in the making. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Where do we even get started, you know what I'm saying, with such a influential guest? You know what I'm saying? I normally like to get started in the roots. Christie, where did your passion, that calling, that inner voice that was like, hey, I need to be on stage, you know what I'm saying? Where did that first come about?
Well, I am originally from Miami, Florida, born and raised.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born and raised here, and I was always a kid who did kind of everything. I liked doing everything, and even my parents were like, "You need to chill out because we don't have the money to put you in every single thing that you like to do." So I'm a naturally hyper person, so I think I'm in the right company.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
So my vibe.
Okay, I like
it. But because of that, I kind of always wanted to be performing, and I wanted to be I guess on stage. I wasn't shy, and I really liked music. I actually got involved in singing when I was 6. This is the story of a beautiful movie called Titanic.
Oh, and man.
It would be that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So Titanic, and I loved Celine Dion, and I was just like the song, and I guess it was in my 6-year-old mind, it was correlated with like Leonardo DiCaprio and him dying, and I was like, if I just sing this song, I will be able to save Leo from drowning, and that's how it started. So I actually know that movie verbatim, like word for word. It's really sad or cool, whatever whatever your vibe is.
Do you think there was enough room?
Yeah, they did, bro.
Do you think there was enough room?
They did my boy Leo wrong.
I think
man.
so. When you look at that wide angle from above, there was totally space, and that's why I was upset. Like a 6-year-old knew that there was space, but you know. It's all right, Rose. So that's how it started. And then I would always be singing. And then my parents were like, our daughter has like a really nice voice. We should just get her some lessons to, kind of let her find her way with, some technique and stuff. And I was dancing since I was 3. Ballet first, but I was always the kid getting in trouble because I could never stay still. So they were like, that's not her jam. So so I got involved with dance, with contemporary and hip hop and salsa, and I loved doing all that. And then acting came just like in school. We did like plays, like The Wizard of Oz. I was the Wicked Witch. I would love to play like an evil character. Like, that was just my niche.
I could see that.
I would love it. So I fell in love with that too, and I just stayed doing it. And I wanted to follow those dreams to New York, and I just kept trying to keep my toolbox fresh, and I was always rehearsing and always training, and yeah, that's kind of like where I started with everything.
Wow. You mentioned keeping that toolbox fresh.
Yes.
What are some exercises? What are some daily things that you do in order to do that?
So as far as physically, I love to work out. I was always active in school. And in order to avoid, once I graduated from high school, in order to avoid the freshman 15, we all know what that is.
Oh, bro, that's freshman 50 for me, boy.
You stop the sports.
Bro, straight up.
You stop the sports, you stop the clubs and everything. So naturally, you have a little more time on your hands. So I was like, I used to hate the gym. I guess it was because I had a lack of knowledge in it. So I decided to start getting used to it, to just start going and creating a habit until it was part of my everyday routine. And I grew to love it. So I've been working out since I was like 19. I really enjoy it. And I guess that kept me always active. And then, so when I would go to like a dance class, I'd be with the right stamina, the right endurance, the right strength to be able to keep up. And then still going to dance classes, you're keeping your mind going with learning new choreography in a short amount of time. That's always keeping it fresh. I always went to my vocal lessons. When I was younger, I hated going to vocal classes because I was like,
They're so technical.
like, God bless Luis Manuel Diaz, who's my coach from
Big
when
shout
I
out.
was 12 years old, because I remember I would be such a grouch because I just wanted to sing. And he was like, you're here to like learn the fundamentals.
Right.
And you're here to learn the foundation, and you're here to build your voice. So you're going to do things. I think I grew to love the process of it, even though it's annoying. Like everybody just wants to play basketball. They don't want to go and like, just do some suicides and
Right.
be like running back and forth. You want to play.
Suicides.
Right, remember that? So I just grew to love it, and I stuck with it, and I grew to love the process, and I just keep vocalizing, and I sing a lot in my room just to kind of keep, the vocal pipes ready. And I think it's about that. It's about maintenance. It's about like doing it every day and making sure that you're like fresh. So when you get called, you're like, I'm already here. I did the work.
Wow.
You know?
Talk to us about post high school. What was kind of like, the world is opening up before you.
Right.
What was going through your mind at the time?
So when I graduated high school, I felt like I went to the Honors College in Dade. What's up?
Okay, big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I studied communications at the time.
Same school as
journalism.
Emilio Estefan, you know what I'm saying? I did my research,
That's
you know what I'm saying?
right,
What's
that's
up?
right.
What's up?
He does his research.
In case you didn't know.
I don't.
So it was journalism that I was studying, and then I did a couple of independent films. I was still auditioning for different dance shows like Premios Juventud and Univision, Telemundo, and I would just be performing there. I kind of felt like I was a little bit kind of like stuck. I kind of didn't know where to go in regards to the arts. So at least I was like, okay, at least I'm in school and I'm studying communication, so I have that. But once I graduated from college, I got accepted to UM and to FIU on scholarships and stuff like that. And I was like, I need to try and do this 100%. Like, I need to try and see what I can do in the arts. And I said no to the schools. I said, I'm going to take a break from school. My parents were super, super supportive. Wow. They were like, you're still very young. I was 20 years old. And I was like, I had the world before me. So I didn't exactly know where to start. And then I just kept auditioning here. And that's when I had booked In the Heights here in the Actors Playhouse.
Big shout out. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? The man watched it.
That's so crazy.
Oh my God, right?
So crazy.
The fucking one, like, everything comes full circle.
I had done some, like, I wanted to do recording music before, and that's what I was working on prior to In the Heights, but I kind of had a negative experience with that just because of the industry itself. And I had a really bad experience in Houston where I guess I wasn't doing everything that those individuals were asking of me aside from music. And I was just like, I kind of held myself to a standard. And because of that, it made it quite difficult to do something in the music industry without connections or without anything like that. So I had a sour taste in my mouth, and I was like, oh, can we curse here?
Oh, of course, girl, by all means.
I was kind of like, fuck it, let's just
let it fly.
The first one, it's been 7 minutes.
Let's have a fuck it count. You know what I'm saying?
We got one. So then I kept dancing and I kept auditioning here, but I was kind of heartbroken. That was like my first heartbreak with like disappointment with the music industry. And so I was auditioning as a dancer mostly here in Miami. And that's when I went for the In the Heights call, I went in as a dancer.
So you were doing Dancers Who Sing? Sort of?
I was
Okay.
doing dancer because they were like, oh, there's like a musical happening. And I was like, cool, like I'll just go in and dance, Oh,
wow.
And they had me stay. Stephanie Clemens, who was the associate choreographer. She's actually the associate choreographer. I think she still is for Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
She's awesome. And I remember she was there with Dave Arisco, the Actors Playhouse director.
Big shout out.
Yeah. And they kept me as one of the dancers, and then they asked all the dancers to sing. So I stayed to sing, and everybody was like, oh, I'm going to sing Happy Birthday and stuff like that. And I did my research, so I didn't know what In the Heights was.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what this is, but let me try and find something. I found a video of It Won't Be Long Now by Karen Olivo, who played Vanessa. And I just decided to learn it quickly. So when they asked to sing, I was like, I know this song from the show.
I decided to learn it quickly. Fuck me,
and
right?
And so I sang it, and lo and behold, I went in for like a final callback as Vanessa, and then I booked the role of Vanessa, and I was like, great, but oh shit, what am I getting myself into?
Wow.
Because I have no idea. And they were having half of the Broadway cast come down to do
Holy
it here. And then, yeah.
Wait, that was your
and
first
That was my
lead
first
role?
in theater. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in theater. Yeah.
That's
Yo, can we please give it up for her? Wow.
I'm like sweating.
the fuck.
I'm sweating for you.
Definitely at 2.
Bro, I'm still sweating from that intro, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but damn, bro, straight up. Damn, wow.
So that was cool. That was really, really
Wow.
cool. And then I was blown away by the talent in the room. And I remember learning the music. Everybody already knew the music. And I was like, can you guys just slow down? Like, I haven't even learned this score yet. And I had to really rev up. So I got pretty used to learning things rather quickly from a younger age. So thank God I did, because I needed to learn that show in like a week and a half. And I think we had a week and a half or 2 weeks of like rehearsals, because they do it for like regional shows, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then like you're on.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you get 3.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the start of like getting bit by the theater bug. And I was like, whoa, this is
that's
amazing.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that phone call though. When you got that phone call.
Oh wow. I think I was painting my room in my parents' house. I was painting my room and I had gotten the call and I was like, this is so crazy. I think I got the call the day before my birthday.
Wow.
And that was really, really cool too. And then we started rehearsals in January, and man, that was crazy. I didn't know what to expect. And I was like, wow, I get to like do all the 3 things that I love at the same time and like live. That was just like a really cool way to think about it and to just be like, wow.
So dancer first, singer. Singer first.
Yeah, if you could kind of.
Yeah.
Which I know is hard. It's kind of like picking your favorite child. I understand, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I don't know. I want to say like I've definitely been consistently singing the most.
Okay.
But I don't see myself as like one greater than the other, because different things call for different tools.
Right.
So I think that I would say that I'm kind of like multifaceted with all 3 of them. And then whatever you need, I'll like gear up on that one. But to say that I'm 1, 2, 3, I've tried to even put that like on resumes and stuff like that. And I'm like, it feels weird. Like, I don't want to say that I'm just one, because then they're going to categorize you in that. And we're so much more than that as actors. So yeah, I wouldn't know.
Wow.
Depends what I'm doing that day.
right. What did you feel that you have to, I guess for Vanessa, what's some of the character research that you really dived into for that?
So what's really cool about starting with Vanessa was that I felt like I saw a lot of myself in her.
Okay.
And I just got to play. It's so funny because I always say that Vanessa was kind of like a vessel for me. At that point in my life, I got bit by the theater bug and I loved it. I mean, Vanessa had dreams of like getting out of Washington Heights and like making a life of her own and really, moving downtown in New York, but still, getting out in a way. And I was feeling that at the same time. So it was kind of cool to just be myself within Vanessa and kind of have those big dreams and be living it live as I'm playing her throughout the night. So it's not that I did any research. I think I was just kind of like being. And I think that that's what people liked about it.
Right.
That I was like, well, it's just a girl and she's like tough but she has such a sweet heart and she tries to cover it up. And I feel like in some essence, I'm the same way.
Okay.
And so I was just like, let me just be me living a dream of mine in my own head while still handling the juggles of a complicated life.
Right.
And that was Vanessa. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing a great job.
That's
awesome. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And then Lynn came. And then Alex came, Lin-Manuel came.
We know.
Alex came.
Yeah, I've heard him.
Latimore, who's like a Miami native.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out, Alex. I'm actually good friends with his cousin, Juan. You know what I'm saying?
Juan.
Juan Torres Falcon. Big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Juan and Juan. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
So they came, and that's when they were like, I remember Lynn will definitely not remember this, but I just remember him being like, you definitely need to try this thing. Like, you're really good. And I still didn't know who they were. So I was like, thanks. Like, cool guy. And they're like, do you know who he is? And I was like, no, but it's fine. He said I was good.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, wow, okay. So I definitely thanked him later on when I saw him again. But yeah, that was when I was just like, I'm just going to like try.
Damn.
Well,
And-
it's crazy because I saw that 9 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh my God.
Right?
It was so
It's
long
been,
ago.
Right, 9,
Oh my
10
God.
years, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2013.
Hell yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Damn. You watched it. What a small world.
I never would have thought that was your first
Really? Oh
lead.
my
Not a-
gosh.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's
That means a lot.
insane. Oh
That
my
means a lot. I wish-
God.
You were in the show with a friend of mine, one of the first guys I ever performed with professionally, Nick Duckart.
Yeah,
And-
Big shout out. Big shout out. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
shout out to Nick Duckart.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
the best.
There
I
you go.
mean,
He was so sweet. He was so
oh,
like
he's
welcoming, and he's still
yeah.
to this day. Like I think we saw each other when I was on tour. He was on tour. He was on Come From Away.
Yeah.
And I think we met. It was in a gym. God, so many cities. It was at a gym somewhere. I always wanted to check out the gyms that they would get for us, so that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So I saw Nick and I was like, oh my God. I mean, oh my God, we're here, we're doing. And he's like, yo, what a long way. And we're like, man, this is really cool.
Oh, wow.
He's so sweet.
Damn.
He's so cool.
That's so cool. Damn, big shout out,
Yeah.
big shout out. How did you personally feel like your audition went? You know, there's sometimes that I'll go in and it'll be so bad that I'm like, bro, I hope they don't remember my face.
gosh.
And then there's sometimes, and you'll still get a call. And then there's sometimes that you think you did so good. You're
Yeah.
like, honey, get all the wallpaper.
Yeah.
We got this shit. And then it's like crickets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What was it like for you?
I think, from what I remember, I feel like I did it. I just went in there and I was like, I know, all I know is that I know how to sing. So I'm just going to go in there. I learned the song, and obviously I'm scared. I'm a little frightened because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to sing it right or like if it's something that they want, but I'm just going to give it a try. I feel like I did really well, but I just kind of didn't think anything to it. I didn't think anything from it. I did the audition and I was like, okay, cool. And I think the most success that I've gotten have been from those types of auditions where I'm just like, I go in, I do my best, and then I'm like, all right, peace.
Right.
Like, on to the next. Like, I kind of don't think about it anymore. When I really, really like want it and like I try, like, and I'm really studying and everything, I think I don't do as well as if I'm just kind of like study it and then like let it go. Like
Yeah.
just go in there and like, and you know what you're doing. Like,
Right.
You did the work outside, so now just be yourself. And if it fits, it fits. And if it doesn't,
Right.
doesn't.
There's sometimes that I'll have my best auditions and I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
that movie I'm
You're
gonna
like,
watch
I
that
totally
night.
booked that.
I'm like, yeah. There's sometimes I'm going in, I'm like, all I'm thinking about is like the pizza and like the movie I'm gonna watch that night. I'm like, let's kind of like wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
And then
totally.
you fucking kill it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3. I said 3 segments, and the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? I stole that from Blue's Clues. I hope they don't sue me. You know what I'm saying? And in this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guests 3 questions, sometimes more, depending on the questions that you send in on our Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Questions that you yourself have submitted, and we're going to read them on the air. Oh, goodness is right. And here we go. All right. Christy.
yes.
All right. Okay, and I'm reading them how they were worded, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, some of you need some Inglés sin barreras or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Because any changes of the show while playing Gloria on Broadway, the tour, or the West End. So I'm assuming that what they're trying to say is that were there any big changes in between the productions of Broadway, the national tour, or the West End production?
Ooh, good question.
Good question.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
So we were very lucky to have the original choreography and storybook and scenic design in all 3 productions. The only difference when it came to going on tour and being on Broadway, we had what was called a lift, and it was kind of where it was machine operated, and it would come up and down from the stage, so it would kind of like fall down, come back up, and we would be able to put props and people on there, and it would create like an illusion, like, you know, kind of like concerts, you know what I mean, where it goes up and down.
Bro, Michael Jackson came out of one of those.
Yeah, so because we couldn't, all stages are different around the nation, we couldn't have that. So same thing with like the sliders on the side where all the props come out. They were all machine operated, but on the road we had like pallets and we had actual, like, I love the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
so
me too.
I remember a lot of that. Like those were my boys and like the band, like those were my guys.
Bro.
But the pallets, so it would all move, with people, and the lift would be another type of slider that they would move in and out, and we kind of had to change that. I think in London it was the same way as tour, and then as far as choreography, everything, the show was pretty much set the same way. We had our same choreographer, Sergio Trujillo, who was amazing, Tony Award winning. And then we had Jerry Mitchell, who came, Tony Award winning as well, our director.
You gotta love the accolades, you know what I'm saying?
Jerry was the one, and we can talk about it. So thank you, Jerry.
Hit him with the resume. Hit him with the resume.
So he came out, and we were able to be directed by him. So everything was pretty much the same. The only thing that was a little different in London that I loved was the Dr. Beat number. The Dr. Beat number in the Broadway and the tour productions was kind of short. It was more like the dancer starting up while I'm doing a quick change on the side, and then I come out for the end. But in London, it was like a whole dance number. And it was so cool. It was so like 80s, like pop and lock kind of thing.
Oh, damn.
And it was so cool. So we added that choreo, and I think that they had that choreo during pre-pro for Broadway, but I think they took it out. So they brought it back for London, and I was like, yes, like that just turned into one of my favorite moments because it really got me to like rock. So that was what was a little different. Other than that, all three productions were kind of like the first. All three productions were the first of like Broadway, tour, and the West End. So everything wanted, I'm pretty sure they wanted everything to kind of be maintained how it was on Broadway.
Right.
So other than that, yeah, everything was pretty much the same.
Did you like where did you enjoy performing more?
Oh my gosh.
Is that a loaded question?
I'm like, that's not fair.
You're gonna shit on two audiences. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know, because it was a different man. Like,
how did
my
how
Broadway
did they receive it on the
debut-
West End?
Oh my God, they are obsessed with us.
Really?
They love us, and I loved that our cast was so diverse. Like,
Do they clap with an accent or? I want to know, bro. You know
no,
what I'm
but
saying?
we did have to change certain punchlines because they didn't get it. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there were certain things that we had to change in Spanish. Like I know that there's one part where I say like, "Eres un pesado."
They're not. Yeah,
They
really,
are
what do you
not
mean?
gonna know that, so we had to change it to like, "You're
Yeah.
such a jerk."
Are you fast shaming them?
so
What the?
I know. So there's another one where we had to be like, "Oh, we need more cilantro." But they didn't get that either. So we said coriander, and they started like laughing. So instead of a station wagon, I forgot what car they had that they understood. And they like just those little changes
Right.
created, because we had previews in the West End and we tried it and it like they wouldn't get it. And we're like, okay, we have to change some things. And just like the change from that to something in their culture that they understood
Right.
made like, I was like, wow, this is magic.
Did you feel like you needed to do the same thing for the tour? Maybe you go to different places, you made a change according to that specific city, or was the tour uniform all throughout?
Yeah, the tour was uniform all throughout, and we didn't really change anything because once we finished previews, everything was set. So after previews, you can't make any changes to anything. So yeah, it was well received throughout the nation. Like everybody pretty much understood what we were saying. Some audiences quieter than the others, but I think it was more of like a theater etiquette. Some cities knew to like clap at the end, whereas some other cities would clap in between, and that was just like a preference as to like, you can tell the theater goers over the ones that aren't. But our show was well received because how could you not? Like, how could you not? Even if you weren't a theater goer,
Right.
Like I like shows that even if someone's not a big theater fan, they love it. Like my dad's not a theater person at all, and when he saw In the Heights, he was like, I don't know what this is, but this is like so cool.
I mean, it's hard to not be moved by your daughter, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but just like my parents are like the good combination of the perfect combination of like total bias support, which is my mom. Like,
Hell yeah.
no matter what you do, you're amazing.
Big shout out,
And,
mom,
like, go ahead,
man.
Truly.
Shout out to all the moms
Hell
in the
yeah.
world.
Everybody knows
Especially
Gertrude.
mine.
Especially Christian's mom.
Oh, big shout out, Christian's mom, bro.
And then my dad is very supportive too, and he'll obviously hype me up, but then he'll also be realistic. Like, I could tell that wasn't your best, or like, I can tell this isn't my favorite, but I can see. So he's not a theater goer. And when he saw In the Heights, he was like, this is so cool. Like I would see this all the time, and they saw it a lot. And On Your Feet was another show like that. If you have friends who have never gone to theater or don't like shows, the best shows to take them to are shows like In the Heights, shows like On Your Feet, that just opens a whole new avenue of opportunity for them to kind of open their imaginative mind to things that are a little more strictly theater.
Right.
Because you can't just take them to like Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
And then they'll be like, okay, that was
you can't
cool.
be like,
the chandelier was cool.
Right, you can't be like, hey, Frank, this is Equus, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless you really like it.
Right,
Like,
it's going to be a long show.
Yo, I would go see Equus as my first.
I bet you would, brother.
Come
I bet
on,
you
man.
would. God.
That's like, you have to be a little seasoned. You gotta season them up a little bit before you get that brave.
Either that or a really big Harry Potter fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight
exactly.
up.
See, you get it.
I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Daniel Radcliffe, you did your thing, man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Did your thing.
Big shout out Daniel Radcliffe, man.
I love Harry Potter.
Second question from our second question from our Mail Time segment. What is your favorite song to sing when you were Gloria in On Your Feet?
I love. Okay, there's two numbers that I think that correlate with each other that I thought were super cool. I love Tradición. It was one of the opening numbers, and it was pretty much in Miami in the 60s. And so there's a lot of color. It's around a fountain. It's a very communal type of number. And there's a big reveal from Little Gloria to Big Gloria. And it's a big number about community and people coming together. And the choreography is beautiful. And there's Cuban elements within the choreography. So I loved performing that with the cast. And then there's another scene, there's another moment in the act 2, which is Wrapped, which is a dream sequence of Tradición. So it's like all the dresses and all like the beautiful elements, but in white. And it's just so angelic, and it's so like, that's where like the tears are about to happen.
Those
like,
waterworks.
It's powerful. I think those two are really, really, it's just so beautiful. And other than that, man, I loved singing all of them. And then the top of Act 2, which is like the concert sequence, which is one of, I think, the first time that I break the fourth wall.
Okay.
And that is just like, because in theater, you have to remain, like, you cannot break that fourth wall. No. And with this show, and theater goers are aware of that.
Right.
So in the top of Act 2, when I break that fourth wall and I start engaging with people, just seeing the fact that they're like, okay, hi, are you looking at me?
Right.
Like, are we
Malcolm
having
in the
this
middle?
moment?
Yeah.
So that's always so much fun, and people, like, I get to actually see people's reactions. And so that's just like so fulfilling.
Wow. And last question from our Mail Time segment. We actually had a good amount of questions.
We did.
Thank you for sending in those questions.
Thank you.
And this is actually kind of on the same topic of behind the scenes, which we both love. And I think the three of us love, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you love behind the scenes stories.
Yeah.
What?
Talk to us. There you go. Talk to us about the show must go on moment.
You have a lot of those.
I have a few of those.
There you go.
And
you'll
some
never
pretty
know.
epic ones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so there was one that you can actually see it's online for sure.
Okay. Send it over and I'll put it on the screen,
Totally. So it was, we were invited to sing in the Kennedy Center Honors because Gloria was being honored that year. And we were in the middle of our tour, and then we had like a week off for Thanksgiving, but they had us only have like 3 days. Us and like myself and my co-star and a select amount of dancers. And so we went to Washington early, to DC. And because we were traveling so much, I was used to being in, I guess, the hotel room prior to the hotel room where we were at there. And we had sound check at like 7 a.m. So I got up at 6. I really had to use the bathroom, and I was in the dark. And because I just like ran thinking that I was like in another bathroom, another room, and I just totally hit, like I slammed my head against the corner of like a wall, and right in on my forehead.
And that's solid.
I hit it like my ears were ringing. I got rocked. Like that was my first fight, and I lost against a wall.
Bro.
I take it with grace.
Bro, she did a Ronda Rousey against the wall, bro.
Seriously,
You know what I'm saying?
the wall.
Damn.
Won. And then I was just, my face was ringing. I go to the bathroom and I am just like bleeding, like straight Carrie. Like it was a whole,
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what is happening? I was all over the place, and I had to wake up. I had to run to the Kennedy Center.
Oh my God.
And I had to go into my pin curls, my wig cap, the mic, the other wig cap, the wig. Everybody's running around, and my dresser, Emily, is just like, what happened to you? And I was like, I don't know, but you got to fix it. Or I wasn't even talking straight.
Yeah.
So they put some like adhesive glue, so stupid.
Oh my God.
Adhesive glue, and I was just like, whatever to make it stop bleeding. But I felt my face slowly like inflaming, you know? And I was just like, okay, mind you, I have 2 wig caps, the mic and the wig, and we have to do the sound check. We did the first little like number on stage, which was maybe like 2 minutes. And that one, I was smoked. Like I was so tired. I felt like so dizzy. I was kind of seeing a little bit of like double. From that performance, I had to present Shaka Khan. And I was there doing like the sound check to present her. And I just remember being like, okay, I did that. And I went off stage and I was like, guys, that was good, right? And they were like, Christie, you were slurring. And I'm like,
damn.
what? And they were like, yeah. And now the next performance that we had to like run through was about 8 minutes that I had to like be singing straight.
That's a marathon.
I started getting like shaky. I was like, my face, I had like a little goose egg on my forehead from the hit. And it was like 8:30 a.m. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on stage. Like my knees were starting to like lock a little bit. Like, I don't know. I felt weird around my knees. And I don't know if that's part of like a concussion. But I felt really, really shaky. And my dresser looked at me and she was like, you're not going out there. And I was like, absolutely not. I get this off me right now. Like all of this on my head. We had to get it off. I went to the hospital. Everybody was like, are we going to go on? What is going on? Like, what is happening? And they were like, you have a concussion. You cannot perform. And I was like, if you don't, I'm going on.
Right.
Like whatever you say, like just let me rest. Let me handle this. And like, I'm going on. And like, it's online. Like we did the thing, thank God, by the grace of God. I was able to do it. I mean, adrenaline is a powerful thing.
Oh, wow.
But it was badass. And I did both performances. Thank God I was able to present, clearly speaking and everything. Everything was
No slurred words.
no slurred words, nothing. After I came out of the hospital, I went to the hotel and I just kind of had like 15-minute intervals of naps, but not napping for a long time.
Right.
I just needed to rest and ice it. And just like, I didn't even get to run that big number on stage. We just went in because I was just like, I can't.
Wow.
So we made it happen.
Talk about being a trooper. Wow. Talk about being a trooper.
It was a cool one. It was a cool one, but I definitely, it was definitely a story, that I kind of kept. Only like the cast and everything knew.
Right.
And I remember Gloria being like, after she was like, did you hit your head in the morning? Like they told me something. I'm like, yeah, but I'm fine.
It's
Look
fine.
at me.
It's a boo-boo.
And I have like a little Band-Aid. I'm like, it's good. I'm totally okay.
God. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
It was cool.
Thank you for sending in those
Thank you,
questions.
guys.
You know what I'm saying? Tune in every single week and send in those questions. Wow, Christie, what a story, man.
That's crazy.
Talk about a story. We got a chance to talk about the
hurts.
man, my hair is
know.
just
I have
thinking
like
about
a
that,
little,
man.
yeah, there's like some PTSD here.
Yeah,
for me.
man. And for the people that don't know, you put your mic literally where, you know what I'm saying?
Literally right where I have the little scar.
Wow,
I kind
wow.
of like that I have the little scar there. It's
Hell
like a little
yeah.
reminder. You can do anything.
Oh yeah, man. Wow. We spoke a little bit about your audition process and the process of you being cast for In the Heights. Talk to us about what the process was like for being cast in the production of On Your Feet.
On Your Feet. So I was actually here in Miami in that January. I was doing West Side Story in the Actors Playhouse.
Okay.
And while I was there, I remember my agent. That's the shout out, Ricky Fishbein at the Hybrid Agency.
There
I
we
love
go.
you. Been with him since like I first started.
There we go.
And yeah, I was there and he told me, he was like, hey, they're looking for a replacement for a dancer.
Wow.
It's like the dancer story. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to fly up. So on my one day off from doing West Side here, I flew up and I went to the dancer call. And the dancer call, that's when they had me stay after a few cuts and again, to sing. And I already knew all of Gloria's music. And I was like, I'm just going to sing Mi Tierra so that they know I also speak Spanish in case.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they needed that as well. And that's when I met Jerry Mitchell. And I remember I sang it and he was just kind of observing me and he was like, I would like to give you the Gloria packet just to practice. Like so nonchalant. And I was like, so nonchalant.
You got
like nothing.
so
I was
excited.
like, thank you so much.
Oh my God.
I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So I studied that. I couldn't believe it. I went back in for another audition and then I didn't hear from them for like about 2 months. I finished the West Side Story run. They had actually picked one of my sweet friends, Angelica Belliard, to replace one of the dancers. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. I'm just gonna like keep it pushing, you know?
Were those a nerve-wracking 2 months or no?
A little bit, but I guess I was just like, I was just so busy all the time that I kind of just put it like, I was like, if they call, then they call, you know? And I remember they called again 2 months later and they were like, hey, we want to see you come in. There's something going on and we want you to come in for Gloria, for the role of Gloria. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And I was working at a lounge late night. So I was working like, I remember I had my first audition with Lon Hoyt, the music director, Clay Ostwald, who's part of the Miami Sound Machine. He is like an OG member.
Okay.
I love him so much.
Big
Hi,
shout
Clay.
out.
And I remember that was a great audition. They had me come back for a second callback. And I was working the lounge until late the night before. Like I couldn't get off. Then the next day I was just so tired. And I remember, going inside and I performed in front of, I auditioned in front of Andy Signor, who's the associate director. Andy Signor actually took me under his wing in the beginning and saw a lot of potential in me. So thank you, Andy. And I performed there, but I was so tired. I left the room and Andy takes me outside and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? What am I doing? He was like, what was that? I was like, look, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm tired. I'm
My
sorry.
bad, dog.
I was like, I'm sorry. I'm tired. I worked at the lounge. He was like, okay, that's fine. Get rest. He was like, and come back tomorrow. And he was like, and do this shit the way that I know you had. Like, I know you can do it. And I appreciated that so much. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. All right, cool. Like, I'm fucking it up right now, aren't I? 3. I'm fucking it up. But so I really, really studied. And then the next day, I went in, I did very well, and then I didn't hear for maybe a couple of weeks, if I remember. And then I finally got the call to go in and perform in front of Gloria and Emilio. Oh my God. And then I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. I'm going to make sure I don't work the night before. Oh. So that's the first time that I met them. And that was so fun. I was like, look, I already know this. I'm just going to go in and be myself. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, I'll cry and then I'll get over it.
So Gloria Gloria and Emilio were having the final say?
Yes. Yeah. So I went in, I actually met Hector Rivera, who's a good friend of mine who actually took over the role of Emilio. And we actually developed our Gloria and Emilio together. So that was really cool. I met him there. He was at his final callback. And
oh, wow.
I went inside the room and I just remember when I get nervous, I do a lot of dumb little things. So I walked inside and I was like, first of all, and I just started bowing at both of them. I was like, this bow is more than just this Broadway thing. Okay. I just need you guys to know that. I literally said something like that and they started giggling. And I think Gloria really appreciated that. And then I performed and I went around, I just threw myself. I was like, let's go. Like how much more real can we get than like someone from Miami? I think just being yourself.
Right.
So they loved it. And then I think they loved it because 2 days later, my agent calls me, Ricky calls me, and he was like, so how do you want to, like, how does it feel to be on Broadway? Like, would you want to be on Broadway? And I'm like, yo, what are you talking about, bro?
Wow.
This is not happening.
Damn.
And yeah. And so I went in as a swing in the first cover. And then long story short, I was supposed to go on as like a vacation swing for another actress that was leaving on vacation, and something happened for whatever reason, and they were like, can you learn Gloria in a week and a half? Jeez. And I was like, they're like, yeah, we want to put you on, but only if you're down to do it. Like, instead of going on for her, can you play it and then play it for like a whole week? So like I would debut as her and then play for the rest of like for a week and a half. And I was like, yes, number one, yes.
Right.
And then it was just, I think it was like 14 to 20 straight days. Like I didn't even have my Monday off. And I just went in, then I had a full put-in, and then I had the performance on Friday, and then I just literally performed the rest of that week, and I got to debut as Gloria, and I was like, this is like getting shot out of a cannon. It was insane. It was crazy. It was so cool.
How nerve-wracking was that week though?
Oh my gosh. I work very well under pressure.
Okay.
Even though it was so much, I think what was good about it was that it didn't give me time to really be nervous. I was nervous like right in the beginning of opening the show, like, because the curtains just rip open and I heard the music, and my family was there too. I heard the audience. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is happening. Like, I hope I don't forget anything. Like, I have this whole show in my mind. The quick changes in the back, like on the sides, are no joke there. Every second counts. Like, that's when I was just like nervous for that 1 minute. But my knees shake when I get really nervous, like they buckle. And then if I stop them, it goes to my mouth. So like it was just happening, and I was just like, okay, chill. And then like right when I walked on, I was like, this is exactly where I need to be.
Oh man.
And it was just such a high that I was like bit on a whole other level of like possibility. Damn. It was really, really cool.
What would you say is, I guess, for that week, what was the most challenging aspect of it? Was it memorizing the music, the moves? What was the most challenging aspect of that week?
Well, not so much that week, because I also had great support from the cast. I mean, I had vets alongside me. I had Andrea Burns, I had Eliseo Roman, Josh Segarra, who was a great Emilio, and he was so supportive. It was actually his last week there. Oh, wow. So I got to perform. They were just all so incredible. All the dancers were so welcoming. And so I had a great support there. What was difficult was like being a swing. And I am so grateful for that. Like I enjoyed being a swing, but that's the hardest, because it was learning. I had to learn 7 different roles, and just going on the fly on any role and switching hats. That was what made me, I feel, an even more versatile and a better actor and performer. The fact that it can just like change on the fly. You could change on the fly. And live theater is all about just being in like live. Like if you met, like I felt like more comfortable messing up because of all the chaos of like having to change hats. And like if something happens, it happens. They don't know about it.
Right.
Just you. Like I just think that made me more calm when I took over the role of Gloria. I was just smooth sailing compared to like swing life. And I would do it again. Like swing life is really, really cool. You never get the same show. You get to experience the show in totally different angles. You get to have connections with people in different ways, different costumes, different looks, different characters. It's so much fun. But yeah, that was definitely like the most difficult part on Broadway. The most difficult part as Gloria was the maintenance.
Right.
Like maintaining the strength and the endurance throughout my entire run. was the difficult part.
What came first in regards to the national tour, Broadway, and the West End, and also kind of a second parter to that. When the first one was over, let's say it was Broadway or whatever, did you think, okay, we're done? Was there a hiatus in between Broadway and the national tour and West End, or was it back to back to back?
Ooh. So Broadway was first. We were actually closing the show that August. And August, we were going to start rehearsals for the tour. I had already been asked that January by Gloria to do the tour. So there was already something towards the end of my run on Broadway that was going to be happening. So they wanted me to stay until closing, but then that meant that I would have to go straight into rehearsals for the tour. And I needed to at least see my family. I needed, because I was going to be gone for a year and 8 months.
Sheesh.
Like, I needed to just have some time to rest my body, rest my voice. So I decided to leave a month before closing the show on Broadway. I decided to leave for a month to come to Miami, to come home, to go on a little vacation, enjoy, a little bit of the fruits of my labor from that process. And then I went straight into rehearsals in August, and then we did the whole run of the tour. All of 2018, I was living on the road. Like, I never came home that year.
Wow.
Which was cool. And then in between, I think April 2019 was when we closed the tour. And I was already going to London doing press even before we closed the tour. Oh. So my covers would go on, and I would literally fly to London, do press there with Gloria, experience jet lag for the first time, which was crazy. And then I would fly back, and I'd had to close the show. After that, I had 3 weeks off to just go to New York. I assembled my place there. And then I went back to Miami for 3 days. I visited family there. And then I went back to New York to fly to London. And then it was straight 4.5 months in London. So in those 3.5 years, I maybe had 4, 5, 7 weeks off.
Wow.
7, maybe 8, because there was the days in between the breaks and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty much always the show was my life.
Were they supportive when you told them that you needed to take a break? Were you did at any point it cross through your mind you leaving a month earlier, that maybe whoever was swinging for that role could maybe have an extended stay?
I mean, I think it's really difficult, especially because I was a swing. I had so much value because I knew so many roles, and the fact to train someone new just for a month and a half, I'm sure was a little bit of an annoyance. I mean, but I did it for my health, and I was like, you guys can do it. And they did it. They found a cover, and it was great. And I just did it for me. And I've learned that with the show, to take care of myself and be human.
Hell yeah.
And be human, because the industry is a beast, and I'm glad that people are starting to have conversations now about giving actors a break. 8 shows a week is no joke.
Yeah. And
I definitely had my share of when I had to be out for vocal rest, and I think there's more of a stigma, a negative stigma on vocalists. And if we need to be out, you'll never question an athlete, you'll never question a dancer if they have to rest their knee or something. But if I had to be out for my voice, it kind of wasn't as respected.
Right.
And
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you literally, you're basically an athlete with musical capabilities.
Right. Yeah. And the vocal cords, it's a muscle too.
Right.
And they're
right.
so sensitive. And especially for women, we are even more sensitive with our vocal cords. Even our menstrual cycle affects it. And I think people need to have more conversations about that, because I remember getting a lot of heat for having to call out. And I was on a lot. I would live and breathe the show, but the times that I needed to be out, or if I had to call midway out of the show, it's not because I didn't want to. It's not because I was oh yeah, well, I guess act 1 is enough. No, it's literally because I could have still done the show, but I knew my body, and I was I'm going to get severely hurt. And I would get heat for it. And I think it's really cool that people are starting to understand and talk about it now, because you need to.
Right.
It's like we break our backs.
Literally.
We break our backs, and
Especially
we
in
are
the
not,
theater.
and we are not a product. And I remember Gloria was very, very supportive of that. And she was like, if you need to take a break, like if you need to call out of a show, just do it. Take care of yourself. And it was so cool to have, that's what was different about the show, because I had an actual global superstar that was literally has gone through the same thing on tour. And she was like, I know what it is. So I will always have your back. And she was like my support system with that. So that was really cool.
Talk to us about that relationship with Gloria. You know, from the first moment that you had auditioned for her, when did that relationship start to flourish?
Man. Oh, Glow. What's up, girl? Now, Gloria's the best, man. Like, she really is. She's just so giving and so sweet. And I remember I met her at the audition, and then I didn't see her until September when I went on. I was called to go on. I think I was actually scheduled. And Clay Ostwald had texted her, and she was in the city, and he was like, you need to come and see this girl. Like, just come and see her. And I didn't even know. And Gloria showed up, and she saw the show, and I will never forget when I was just like, I got off, and then I look and I just see on her Instagram that she had posted about me, and I was just like, whoa. I'm like, wait, like, she's here right now. I was like, thank God it was a good show. Like, thank goodness. And she went to visit in the back, and she was like red. She was crying, and she was like, you were phenomenal. And she just gave me praises, and I was like, you're Gloria Estefan, like you. and from there, like, she was just so sweet, and we were able to keep in touch, and we stayed in contact throughout the entire time, my entire run on Broadway. And then that January, we did a promo here for the tour in Miami at the Arch Center, and she was here, and I didn't even know, and she had asked me on stage to do the tour. When she asked me on stage to do the tour, I was like, okay, I guess this is happening. When we started developing the tour was when I really got to sit down and like dive into who Gloria was and really connect with her to understand who she is as a person and really get my Gloria like perfected.
Wow.
Because on Broadway, it was great, but I had it with like notes and based off of previous actresses who had played her, that they helped me out and everything like that. But with the tour and with London, I got to like really dive into who my Gloria was and how I finessed it, because I got to hang with her and I thought it was really, really cool. And it was very natural, and like, she's just, man, she's the shit. She's really, really cool. And Emilio too. Oh my gosh, Emilio is like awesome, and they're really, really cool people. And I'm really glad that, I'm really grateful I got to like really hang with them and vibe and,
wow,
you know, have a Cosmo.
Hell yeah, man. What a luxury to be able to hang out with her firsthand.
Yeah.
In order to, man, wow.
She was really sweet.
Also, it sounds like we all need a Clay in our lives, bro. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
Oh my gosh, Clay.
Wow.
I'll always be thankful to that man. And I got to do Broadway. Then he went on the road with us, and him and I were the only ones who went to the West End.
Yeah.
From the States. So we really got to connect through all three productions. It was really cool.
And she had mentioned performing at the Arch Center. Big shout out, Adrienne
Yes.
Arsht. She's actually future guest. Miss Adrienne Arsht will be joining us soon. So stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? Tremendo philanthropist.
Yes,
Let me
she's
tell you
awesome.
That. Oh,
She's
my
awesome.
God.
So nice to meet her.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have I said three segments, and the second one is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about? And then this beautiful segment, we ask our illustrious guests for a suggestion, a recommendation. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a TV show, a movie, a theater show, you know what I'm saying? A production if you need to. You know what I'm saying?
Got?
Yeah, what you got? Let's say you got
what you got?
Oh my gosh.
You got a group of 2,000 people. You know what I'm saying? They're about to watch a Christie Prades production. You know what I'm saying? But they got 2 hours to kill.
Oh my gosh.
What would you suggest for them? Netflix, HBO, whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It could be TV show, it could be a movie, it could be a theater show.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever you want. What would you suggest? to the people?
Wow, you're gonna put me on the spot because I watch a lot of dark shit. I watch like a lot of like serial killers.
Oh man,
and like investigative.
Oh, you and me both, man.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
it's so bad. So I just saw Bad Vegan.
Bad Vegan. Yes, I started it.
It's so good, and I remember seeing that restaurant in New York, and I was like, whoa, this did not happen. Like. Bad Vegan is very good.
They found them with like Burger King and shit.
It was like this owner. She was amazing, and she had her own like vegan spot, and it blew up. And I don't want to give too much away, but like she pretty much lost everything because of this one guy, this one like loser who pretty much like manipulated her. Like it was all like a mind game. And really, I mean, she's brilliant, she's beautiful, and it just like completely took over her mind psychologically and like really manipulated her, and she lost everything. That's crazy. And what's cool about it is that she's narrating it with all of her former employees, and like,
oh my God.
It's crazy. They have a lot of like, it's really intense. So I was like, whoa, I'm very much like that, like intrigued with like, how could someone just totally take over someone's mind? Like, I'm very intrigued with that. And I like seeing the patterns between like sociopaths and like psychopaths and how they take over people's mind. I want to be prepared so that if something, God forbid, happens, I know. Like, I know the patterns. I know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Sneaky.
Sneaky.
And then I just started getting into Daredevil.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and it's pretty awesome.
You know they're about to switch studios, right?
Really?
They're going from Netflix to
I thought
Disney Plus.
I think they did already.
Okay,
because I tried looking for it, and
it was only on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah,
gotcha.
But it's like it's not like Spider-Man or
Yeah,
anything like that. It's definitely a little bit darker than what we're used to. That one's pretty good. Other than that, I watch like a lot of murder stuff. It's very terrible.
Yeah, me too.
It's very terrible. Like, I tell my mom, like, I watch it sometimes just to like get sleepy and go to bed, and she's like, Christie, you watch that before bed? That's not good.
God.
I was like, it's fine, like, you know.
Oh my God.
It's not fine.
Oh
It's
my
not.
God. What was this one with oh my God, American Story, the one with the big dude that got out of jail and then he went back in jail because he got accused of murder. You know what I'm talking about.
Is it American Horror Story? Or is it like an actual story?
It's an actual story. It's a documentary. Oh man, it's on the
so
screen,
many.
man. There's so many.
Out.
But if you could give me a rating for the two that you suggested, what would they be?
Ooh, Bad Vegan is definitely like an 8.5.
Okay.
Very good. And then Daredevil so far, I'm giving it like a 9.
Oh, damn.
Very good. Yeah, just because
Wow.
I am appreciating the way that they shoot their fight scenes. It's very realistic.
Right.
Like, I think there was like one scene where the guy goes back to like the room where he was taken when he was like a kid, and it's like they're traffickers. It's really dark, but he goes back and like he fights against like 7 guys. But I just love the way the camera comes in and out. I'll show you guys after. Like, it comes in and out. Like, you see him exhausted, you see them tired, and then still fighting. And like, I don't know, it's just really well done. The choreography, like, I would love to do some shit like that. Like, the choreography
Have you
is.
ever done fight choreo before?
Well, for theater, but I don't think that's
Right.
like considered. But I would love to train for that. Like, that's something that I think would be so badass.
Man.
And
You
yeah,
can catch it, man. She has hands. She has hands. You know what I'm saying? She has hands.
it'd be so
We
cool.
see that training, man.
I would love to get paid to just do. You know what I mean? To get paid to
So
like.
you would
just,
definitely
what?
do all your own stunts. It's
I
safe
would
to
love
say.
that. I would love that.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
you basically already do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And I feel like if I keep working out, I keep stretching, I keep dancing, like,
Right.
I think that it's all kind of coordinated. Like, I always said, when I have a kid, they're going to do ballet and martial arts.
Oh, man.
Like,
Gang,
if they
bro.
do both,
That's a wicked athlete.
Right?
Hell yeah. No, it is though.
wicked. It's very
Yeah.
like Patrick Swayze.
I'm pretty sure
ballet-
Israel Adesanya did like a type of dance for sure.
I mean, he's a phenomenal
Yeah, because
mover.
he's so limber, man.
Yeah, they're the best. They're the two best combinations.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow,
I would
wow.
love to do that.
Well, thank you for those suggestions. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal suggestions. Christy, you told us you spent, correct me if I'm wrong, was it a year and 8 months or a year and 9 months?
On the road, a year and 8 months.
A year and 8 months. Good Lord. Talk to us about some on the road hacks. You know, living on the road, I'm sure there's some things that you see that maybe we're not exposed to. Talk to us about that.
Oh man, unpacks on the road to what? Survive?
Survive, to maybe like feel like the room for the night is your home. Like, were there any little things that you did to kind of like make a foreign place feel a little bit homier?
Yeah, I feel like the minute that I got to each room, I unpacked. Everything was very organized. I'm super hyper organized, and you have to be on the road. If not, like I'm very proud. I've only lost maybe like 3 articles of clothing throughout.
Are you a Virgo?
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh?
Are you a Virgo? No.
Oh, what would you think I am? Because
I honestly was getting Virgo vibes.
Really?
Virgo
Am I
vibes.
wrong?
I feel like I talk
don't
too
know
much to be a
anything about
Virgo.
Virgo suck all the time. Yeah, I mean, no. I don't want to reveal
It's
that
a
on camera.
podcast.
Are you like sun rising? Or
I don't know that. I don't know. My mom can't remember what time I was born. Mom,
Thanks,
what's
Mom.
the deal with that?
Bruh. Yeah, I don't know anything. I got 7 moons. I don't know.
yeah,
bruh. You know,
yeah. You're like Sailor Moon.
Yeah, Sailor Moon, straight up, bro, for
So
real.
then, big talk, Libra.
No.
Damn,
then I
I
don't
don't
It's
even
okay.
know.
Listen, we're
Those are
not
the only 2 horoscopes
astrologists
I know.
here.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm like the last day of Sagittarius.
The last
like
day
a
of
Sag cat.
Sagittarius. The last day of Sagittarius. That's a good movie title, bro. Straight up, man. The last day of Sagittarius, man. I
We're
watch
gonna
that,
make it
boy. I would watch that, man.
TM.
Straight up, man. Wow. So talk to us. I mean, how were you able to find yourself? How were you able to, I guess, like, find a home in all those random places? And also, when you were actually doing the traveling, are you a music guy? Are you diving into a series? Do you enjoy the sights? Are you looking out the window? What's it like for you?
So being organized, I always unpacked in my room. So I would always, it's not so much that I had photos there. I had photos in my dressing room. Like I packed for my dressing room and I packed for the road. And then I would always like to unpack. I had a humidifier that like was next to me the whole time. And I probably looked like a crazy person, but I had to have it there, and I had to, hotel rooms have like a lot of dust and dirt, and I would sometimes lose my voice because of the air conditioning, the type of, some hotels had mold.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize what it takes as a professional vocalist
Yes.
to keep your voice in check.
Totally.
A lot of people don't realize. I mean, you're literally a professional athlete.
Totally.
Mariah Carey has a humidifier for her entire house, bro.
Yeah.
And it's true. Even the cold AC blowing in your car on the way to a performance space can completely rob you of your voice.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Totally. And that definitely was like a factor that I had to take into consideration. If like the room just didn't do that, like I felt the dust or something, like I would always make it a point just because it was crucial. I had the humidifier. I would steam every single night. I would steam my voice. I had really bad acid reflux at that time, so that's how I got the hemorrhage in Chicago because just by like the coffee. So I stopped coffee.
Jeez. Like
I wasn't drinking coffee or like anything too acidic. I changed my diet. I wouldn't eat super, super late at night. I kind of had like a portable, like I had a stovetop and everything because I would want to kind of make my food. I want to make sure that it wasn't greasy or that it wasn't like milk or cheese, things like that. Like I wanted it to be healthy. So I would try to like create a regimen, like a structure. Feeling like home for me was always having like a set schedule, and I would always make sure that like I worked out, that I cooked sometimes, like whenever I had the energy, and that I would just take a second. Like if they had like a bathtub, I would like force myself to just like take a bath and just be in the quiet. And that's really difficult for me, but it was so necessary. That's kind of like what kept me sane. And then in my travel day, our day off on the road was our travel day. So there wasn't really a rest. You go on a flight and you're automatically getting dehydrated and like all these things. So I would just be super quiet. I would listen to my music. I would just kind of get in a zone, and I would just kind of, that's where I felt like I was like a fighter before a fight or something like that, that I was just kind of focused on like repairing my voice from like a 5-show weekend and hoping to God that my voice would be there by Tuesday's sound check. And I think just maintaining, I don't know, I just felt like I always had to be on a focus in order to get through it. Like they say Broadway's hard. Yeah, Broadway's hard, but you have your home that you can go home to. You have your space. You have your time away from your cast and you get like your day off. You get a full day off. Like tour is like the beast because it's already difficult for artists. But if you think about it, artists get, they have their people taking their bags for you. They have their massages planned. They have like, things to help maintain them, and good for them. Like they need that. But I was also singing live 8 shows a week. It wasn't like a day in between. I had to set up my massages. I would have to set up like my R&R like throughout the week. It was on me. And then I would be asked to do press too. So there was a lot of things that had to be on my call. I had to take my bags myself. Like it was a travel day and it was me going up and down the elevators. We all had to do it. Flying. So there was a lot of maintenance that I had to be on top of. If I just don't know how someone can do that without being so hyper organized like that, because I would have like fallen apart.
Did you at any point get homesick? Were you like FedExing croquetas and stuff? Like,
I
what,
wish.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my gosh, I got so hyped when I was in London and my aunt and uncle brought a literal bandeja of pastelitos and like croquetas. I'm like, God bless you. I have a video. I gotta look for it. I was so thankful for that. I had already moved from home to New York, so I was already used to being like away from my family in a way. But yeah, I really just missed being put, like staying put for a second. For the first like 4 or 5 months, I was already like feeling like I just need to take a break, and then I was just kind of numb, and then I was just kind of like, let's go, like
Damn.
It's kind of like when you're running, and when you go on a long distance run, you're just like exhausted and you want to throw up. And then if you just reach that runner's high, you're like, something's happening and I'm already going. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool feeling, but you have to go through some like uncomfortable stretches
yeah.
before you're like, oh God, everything feels like I don't even feel it anymore. And that's how I feel like the tour ended up for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that reminds me a little of P90X yoga, bro. That really took it out of me, bro.
There's
You know
a
what I'm saying?
yoga?
Oh yeah, there's a yoga, and it's a workout. Christian, don't you dare judge me right now. Good Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have 3 segments, and the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm asking? And in this beautiful ass segment, we ask, yes, our illustrious guest, a random, emphasis on the word random, question from this here deck of cards. Christian's also going to answer it. You know what I'm saying? He's also going to answer it, as is Katya. You know what I'm saying? So you're not alone.
Oh, you're definitely answering.
Yeah, you're not alone in this frontier. But here we go.
Ooh.
All right.
Smack that deck, Bobby. Wow.
Oh my God, this is so...
It was so like erotic, Christian.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long life.
Wow, it got deep real quick.
Christie.
Okay.
Talk to us. Well, it says write, but talk. Talk about an embarrassing high school experience.
Oh my God. An embarrassing high school experience. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember high school.
Oh, bro.
No, I remember
put that on my tombstone,
I went to
bro.
Southwest. Shout out.
Big
Eagles.
shout out, yeah.
La Sabecera. Okay. Like legit.
Yo,
Yes, Southwest.
If anybody ever doubts you're Cuban, bro, you know what I'm saying? They know, bro.
Exactly. Oh man. I don't know if I remember. Oh, yes. Okay, great. One time I had an elective class that was volleyball. I was on the volleyball team. And I just remember walking in the gymnasium and the guys were already practicing. And I remember just walking by and there was this tall, humongous guy. I think his name was Alex. And he went in for like a hit. And I just remember I was like walking by and he was ready to spike. He spiked that ball and it like hit the floor. And like I was turning this way and then someone's like, yo, Christie. And I looked like that, and it literally just like pegged, like I think my feet flew up and everything. Like, it was so bad, and I think that was my first fight. So it was with a volleyball, and then the second one was with the wall.
Bro, she's 0-2 right now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It was so bad. It was so bad, and everybody was there, and it was like a group. Ooh,
oh, that's the best.
It was like a school moment, and I was just like, I'm just gonna stay on this floor for like 5 minutes. Everybody, it's fine. Just like you can leave me here, you know. It was so bad. He didn't even say sorry.
Yo,
That's
bro.
high school for
Yo.
you. That's high school for you.
Bro,
Maybe that's
chivalry
a
is
Miami
dead, bro.
thing.
Chivalry's
Okay.
dead,
Oh,
bro.
Oh, it's definitely not, but I don't know.
Juan.
Damn.
No.
Christian's like, nah, I'm
You
a
guys would have
chivalrous
never
man.
done that to me, right? You would have been
Bro,
like, "Are you all right?"
Never. Yes.
Never
He
that.
like
Are you
laughed,
kidding
I
me?
think, and like
We would have laughed.
I was
I would have laughed when he got up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah.
she's okay.
She's
now it's okay.
we
You know what I'm
haha.
saying?
He was probably like, "Yeah, guys." I'm like, what?
Yo,
I'm like purple right
that's
now.
a great impersonation, by the way.
Yeah. Like, oh God. Like,
Christian, talk to us. What is an embarrassing high school experience?
Man, I can't believe I'm actually about to say this out loud right now. But so I used to wrestle in high school, and so I went from marching band to wrestling.
Damn.
And which is a major
Okay,
fucking
versatile.
difference.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got kicked out for getting into a fight. I was the second bass drummer, and the third bass drummer had a problem with just something I was doing on the field that day. I can't remember. It's marching band.
Yeah.
So we took off the drums and we fought. And I was
Good
112
Lord.
pounds at the time, and the wrestling team needed a 112 pounder. They're like, "Hey," they're like, "We heard you're a scrappy guy. Come join the wrestling team." And I was like, "Okay." God, wrestling is amazing, but and the wrestlers in my experience were brutes. Okay, and this is where we're going. I come to my book bag, which is in the lunch pavilion, Coral Gables Senior High School. Shout out.
Oh,
Big shouts, big shouts, big
Cavalier.
shouts. Yeah. Oh
Okay.
damn. Yeah.
Cavalier, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to wrestle against you guys all the time.
I know. We played
you guys
volleyball
had some
with
good
you
wrestlers.
guys. You guys had a great volleyball team.
Yeah, no,
So,
some serious beef between our schools.
Damn. You know your
We're
stuff.
like eyeing each other so hard.
Yeah, yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
oh
No,
yeah, it's on. Right here.
I can't leave the room. You know what I'm saying?
So I opened my book bag, and my book bag smells like shit. And I pull out a paper, and there's literally a long brown streak on one of my papers that looks a lot like shit.
Yeah.
And so I peer into my book bag, and there's literally
my
a pile of
God.
human feces
Like a log?
inside my book bag.
Good
like
Lord.
someone took a
That
shit
totally
in my
takes
bag.
mine
That-
like
wow.
by a long
Wow.
shot.
Shout out Joshua Hernandez.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
a Joshua Hernandez.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, bro.
And so yeah, someone shit in my book bag.
No way.
That's one of the most, and that went around all the school. But
Did he
we ended
keep
up
it?
getting him back. He was a fire explorer. So was I, and we all took a shit on his car.
Good for you.
The wrestling
Respect,
captain
wow.
at the time was like, "This is so fucked up. We don't do this to new wrestlers," which is a lie. Let's go shit on this guy's car. And we literally outside of the fire station on US 1, right there in the Gables area between Coconut Grove, we one by one walked up on his SUV and shat on it from
Hell
hood
yeah.
to
Did you guys
Bro.
at least let the how did you guys did you guys shit in front
Yeah.
of each other? Like were you guys that
Absolutely.
comfortable?
Oh no!
You guys
I would-
are weird. Did
no,
you
I
guys
would
make
get-
eye contact
I would
too?
get performance anxiety, man. Straight
Me
up, man.
too.
No,
I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
turn around.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe any eye contact. It was dark. It was dark.
Okay.
It was a stealth mission.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Go at the same time. Did you all have like buckets of Cuban coffee?
It was
Yeah.
me and 5 other
Yeah, did you guys like reserve your shit?
Yeah. Did he have laxatives on
I
deck?
mean, we
or-
didn't exactly discuss
Yeah, dude.
details.
Oh,
You guys.
goodness.
But we
Yeah.
were young chaps, and we
Sounds like it was
chaps.
choreographed.
Young chaps.
Chaps.
Hey, chaps.
We
Wow.
were young dudes,
Very
and
young.
we just
That's beautiful. Shout out the American education system, bro. That's beautiful. Katya, what is an embarrassing story from high school?
So my freshman year, I had made the cheerleading squad.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
At Coral Gables High. And there were very few freshmen that actually made the varsity team. And I remember it was one of the first football games that we were cheering at. And I was sitting on the floor, like stretching or whatever before the game. And the cheerleaders performed through the whole game. So I guess in stretching, my skirt got caught in the panty attachment.
Oh my
Hell
gosh.
yeah.
Oh my
For
gosh.
your uniform. So I walk out, and then you just hear like a lot of catcalling, like,
Oh my
like,
God.
with
That's
me,
my
like,
nightmare.
I love you. And I'm like, what are they talking
I'm
about?
like, wow, I'm really popular today.
I know. She's like, everybody likes me
Wow,
today.
oh my god.
And my mom was in the audience, so she's like pointing at me
Nina.
and dumb, and then when I saw that it was my
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
That
straight. Yeah.
just like when your blood runs like cold.
Oh no, I turned red
Oh,
immediately.
yeah.
So I had to perform the rest of that football game after like.
Oh no. Oh wow.
Damn.
That's like
And freshman year where you're
Yeah.
trying to like.
find your way.
Yeah. Oh. Damn.
We survived. We're survivors.
Yo, we are survivors, man. We're survivors 100%, bro. Good Lord. All right, I'll do one as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I typically let the guests, you know what I'm saying, carry it away.
I want to get.
Oh, you want to? Oh, I was gonna. Sure, you can go ahead. Sure, I didn't know. You go ahead.
You hear that?
Yeah.
It's called stress.
See, that is random.
No, it is
There's
random.
emphasis on the word random there.
Wow, we're changing cards.
Yeah. If it's a good one, you can change it if it's not a good
Oh
one.
gosh, no, you'll like not enjoy that one.
Okay, good. Yeah, some of them are like really like real dark.
I haven't seen this deck yet.
I'm just gonna cheat.
Cheat by all means.
Oh no, let's get like a little deep.
Okay. Oh shit.
What is
We're doing 2 questions today.
the most challenging thing that you're trying to accomplish right now?
Well, that's a good one.
Oh man. Trying to not lose all my life savings in this damn podcast, boy. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Gang, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put that on my tombstone. And besides that, I mean, shit, we're all pursuing a career in the arts, so that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But shit, I mean, really, I mean, that's, yeah, this podcast, acting, you know, I'm happy to be cast in another production, you know what I'm saying? You have to please come through, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I would
you got
love
comps
to. I
any
would
day of the
love to.
week, of course. But yeah, Rapture Blister Burn at Main Street Players, you know what I'm saying? So come check that out. Get your tickets. Shameless plug. But yeah, I would say this podcast as well, pursuing a career in the arts, as crazy as it may be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are great. I love your setup here.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
This is great.
Christian, what you got, brother?
Man, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Dang.
How about you guys?
Dang, man.
I just got through the Ultra Week, going to Miami Beach on a daily basis,
Did you
going
go?
through spring break.
Man, I stayed away. I ran the other way.
Oh my God.
You
I would
went?
love to.
No.
man.
Hell no, man.
That's
3 hours to
past
park
it.
right there.
I'm so past it.
Hell no. What?
Unless we're performing, right?
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Yeah,
But let me
man.
tell you, spring break on Miami Beach is wild. Why are you guys coming to Miami Beach with this
Yeah.
aggressive energy?
Bro, they're out here
You're
having-
on vacation. Enjoy yourselves. Don't pick fights. Please stop
Didn't they
bringing
do a
that energy to
curfew?
Miami.
They did do a curfew. Yeah.
I've been having to bucket out of there because of you guys. Whoever you may be, stop shooting people. Why are we shooting
Yeah.
people? What's going on?
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
It's Miami. Have fun. Have a drink. Make a friend.
Yeah. Make a
Shoot
friend.
your shot positively, bro.
There you go.
That's
God,
the
that's
best.
beautiful.
It's you bros.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
it. That's all I got.
Yeah, and let's, I'm gonna hit you with this question as well. Yeah, what is the hardest thing that you're trying to accomplish right now?
Just trying to survive post pandemic.
Yeah,
I think that's like, trying to find my personal way. I think a lot's changed for me from that whole experience, and I think I'm currently in school. I'm about to graduate.
Okay, big shout out. Okay, all right.
So I'm really excited to kind of explore that avenue of opportunity and to, continue getting now new tools within my toolbox and
Right.
being even more versatile as a human being. And I think that's my biggest challenge, while still remaining kind. I think that there's been like all this time has shown how divisive people have been lately, and how quickly people cut other people off for having different opinions and different ways of living their lives. And I think that we have to remember that even it's okay to disagree. And I remind myself of that. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to have a different way of like living, but to respect people and to expect the same respect in return, and to be able to have good conversations so that you learn and you grow more. I think that that's what I'm trying to keep, because it's really difficult. I feel like there's a lot of people around us with a lot of negativity and a lot of just harsh ways of treating people. And I don't want to be like that. So if it means, practicing it through a different avenue of work, or even a different city, like I'm currently here in Miami instead of New York, then so be it. Right. I'm just trying to like ride the wave, and wherever God puts me is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm not going to try and control anything. I'm only trying to control what I can control, and the rest just kind of like ride the wave and enjoy it.
Those golden nuggets of wisdom. You gotta love it. Wow. Wow. Christie, I would be remiss if I didn't at least ask or mention, correct me if I'm wrong, you were in the epicenter of it all, New York, when the pandemic broke out. Talk to us. What was that like? I think it's a known fact that theater all across the country shut down immediately, and so many opportunities were put on a hiatus for a year, 2 years, whatever the case. You hear so many stories of that. What was your personal experience like?
Well, I had literally just come back from London to New York. So I was traveling it seemed like right before COVID happened, I was everywhere. And I was on a high, as far as in the arts. Like I was getting a lot of really cool callbacks and I was really doing the thing. And then when COVID happened, I just got my new apartment in the city and like living by myself. And the minute that I got it, it was like the next day, everybody was in quarantine. So I experienced COVID by myself. I was in my brand new apartment. I was still waiting for furniture to be brought in. I didn't have a TV yet. I didn't have cable. I was literally like in an empty space. And I was so excited, but at the same time, I'm like, what is happening right now around the world? Right. So then furniture started coming in and I literally, I'm grateful for that because I got to build while people were like bored and stuff, and I got to like build my entire place, and it was really cool to experience that. But yeah, I was by myself, and it was very scary at times. I know my family was super scared for me.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, being here and I was just trying to again maintain a schedule. I would wake up, I would work out. I would cook. That's actually where I learned how to cook a lot during COVID. So I tried to turn it into a positive. I was like, I loved the kitchen that I had for my apartment. That was like my selling point. So I was like, at least I have this space to like make food and enjoy that process. And I did that. And then, I started seeing that things weren't moving. And I was there already 7 weeks by myself. And I'm like, I'm a little freaked out right now. I'm going to go to Miami. Nobody was flying. I got a round trip ticket from there to here for $17.
What?
17.
$17.
A round trip from New York to Miami.
Wow.
I was like, yo, I'm going to travel and nobody knows. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I went, I came, I was here for like about 3.5 weeks. And then I had to go back. And I was doing that, and it was very, very interesting. I'm very grateful that I was able to see how 2 completely different states running with completely different leaders were handling the pandemic. It was really cool to see they were totally different dynamics. And I was grateful that I was able to see that because then it influenced me and it inspired me to do much more research on the topic. And so I think, you only know what's happening around your area and everything. I really realized how much the media was over amplifying from like one state when I was there. And I'm like, okay, that's not happening. But it was like shown in Miami that's what was happening in New York and vice versa. Florida up there. So I was like, I really saw how divisive the media was being with people. And that's something that I was like, I woke up to that very quickly. That I was just like, I'm not going to like listen to this. I'm going to keep, doing the research that I need to do. And I'm going to, make my own decisions and make my own opinions because I was like, do I go back to Miami or do I stay in New York right now? Like theater's going to be one of the last things to open, I feel.
Right.
And so, yeah, I experienced that and it was really cool to be there. But I decided to, once my lease was up, I decided to come here and, actually, August of 2020 was when I decided to go back to school. So I was in New York and I was like, let me stay busy. Let me stay excelling in something or like just working towards something. And school was like the blessing that I didn't even think I needed because I was on such a high from my work.
Right.
And I am just like so grateful that like I get to say that I, did something with all of this that was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to kind of put the blinders on and focus on school, or was it almost a relief?
It was, man. These 2 years doing school, I went through such changes personally. Like I was moving from a city that I loved of 7 years. I had gotten out of a relationship of 3.5 years. This was all happening at the same time. I felt like like, I don't know. I just felt like so many big things were happening. My family is currently and started going through some really, really hard times with a family member. So there were just so many things that were like incredibly heartbreaking throughout the whole process of like school was like a maintenance. And I was really good at compartmentalizing my emotions because of the show. So that trained me for like the pandemic and school, because with the show, it's like I could have been going through whatever it was on the outside. And like in my mind, I was like, nobody cares about what you're feeling. Like you have to go on stage and they're paying for this show, not for you. So it helped me kind of leave everything at the door. And so with school, I was very good at that, at leaving it at the door. But I just always felt like some like heartbreak was like all around on the exterior. But it never, like, I've maintained like straight A's with my schooling.
Wow.
I've done everything that I'm supposed to do with that. But yeah, it was definitely like, it's heartbreaking, you know, like I love singing and I love performing and I love acting and diving into that. And to feel a little bit like it was kind of stripped, like the rug was pulled from under me at such a high moment, it was heartbreaking. But school also gave me the opportunity to be like, look, you know, there's other avenues of creativity. And we know it too as actors, even with podcasts and with speaking to people and learning, like there is like a love in this as well. And I'm excited. I'm not like forcing it anymore. I'm actually embracing it and enjoying it. And if the two come together, like I think it will, then that would be like the ultimate. You know.
Oh, wow, I'm over here
That was
motivated.
the coffee.
Yeah, I'm over here motivated. You know what I'm saying? God, I want to run to a damn Broadway audition right now. Wow. There was a question from the Mail Time segment we did not get to a chance to read, but I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying, off the top of my head right now. It read, if you had never acted, what would you be dedicating yourself to today?
Like as an adult, I think it's totally different from like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I liked teaching too. And then I was like, well, they don't pay well. But because my mom was a teacher and she loved her kids. But like now, I definitely feel like marketing and PR is a really, really cool avenue for me. I feel like I would be a great asset with it, given my experience in the theater world and speaking and interviewing and stuff like that. If not, man, just like some like criminal investigator, like some shit like that, or like
blood splatter analyst Dexter over here, girl.
Yeah, like
damn.
I'd be that type of person who like it'd be very scary because those people, like, it's hard to like leave it at the door and go home and not be like obsessed with just trying to like solve this case. Like I think I'd be one of those that like they'd be like, you need to rest.
Yeah.
Like,
Lincoln lawyer.
You've been working too hard. Yeah. And I'll be like, no, we're on the verge.
Well, what was it? Nightcrawler? Night Stalker?
Nightcrawler.
That one too. It was great.
So good. But
Yeah,
the
the cops.
detectives weren't sleeping at all.
But that's why they were
Toward the end
so
of that.
badass because his wife left.
I can't
Like,
know. His
she
wife just
moved
got
away.
because he was starting to, I think,
Get
cluing
close.
on him.
Right.
Cluing on him is what
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
and then he was like, "Look, they know where we live." Yeah.
Also, those guys.
The Zodiac Killer, another good one. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Is that
man.
wait, Zodiac Killer?
Zodiac Killer? Is that what you're talking about?
The night stalker.
Stalker, I think it was.
Yeah.
About the
I remember
killer in LA.
Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler.
Isn't that a superhero?
That might be
No,
the superhero.
that's an X-Men, but isn't there like a Tobey Maguire one?
Nightcrawlers with
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. They look the same,
my
bro.
God.
Thank you, man.
do not wanna
Bro,
say
they look the same.
A little bit. I
Thank
got
you.
confused when I was little.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jake
Thank you.
Gyllenhaal and Toby?
Nope.
Yeah.
I got Christie's stamp of approval, bro.
I don't know. I'm going to have to fight you guys on that one.
My God. Ladies and gentlemen, what an episode of colossal proportions. Can we please give it up for our guest today, Christie Prades?
This is a blast.
Christie, thank you so much for joining us today. You have been absolutely magnificent. One of our favorite guests of all time. You know what I'm saying? You definitely have comps for my show, and I don't want to speak for Christian, but I'd like to think that one as well.
I would love to. I'll make posters and everything. I'll be like that mom, that like annoying sister. I'll be like,
I love it. There you go. Oh man, dude, like a damn airport meeting. Ladies, talk to us about social media. Christy, where can the people follow your journey? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I have my Instagram page. It's at Christie_Prades, and Christy with a CH in the beginning, IE at the end. I just started on TikTok, so if I keep doing that thing, you'll see it on my Instagram. And then, yeah, that's kind of like primarily where I'm at at the moment.
Very cool. There you go. You see it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. You see it on the screen. Please hit her with that follow. Leave a little comment of support. Let them know that we thanked you. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You go on Spotify. You go on Deezer. You go on YouTube. You go on Apple Podcasts. All that good stuff. But more than anything, go on YouTube. That's why we got 72 damn cameras in here. You know what I'm saying? So you can see, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you can see our beautiful faces in here. You know what I'm saying? I always wrap it up with one final question. I'm still kind of trying to ruminate over what that is. And I'm just saying the word ruminate because Don, the character I play, says ruminate in my next production. Yeah. It's a little sneak peek, you know what I'm saying? Ruminate. Oh, now. What is that, a carbonel? God. You know what I'm saying? Christy. Let me see what I'm gonna end it up with. Yes, okay, yes, I got it. If you could tell anything to the Christy that just got that coveted phone call about On Your Feet, you just landed it, you booked it, what would you tell her with the knowledge you have today?
Oh, buckle up. Aside from that, wow. I think I would say to just enjoy every second. Keep doing what I'm doing and just know that, you know, it really does happen in the blink of an eye. Like time really does fly by. So in those hard moments, like don't be so hard on yourself. Like don't think that you have to be Superwoman. Like take your breaks. Enjoy it and fuck everyone else and stay true to like who you are and enjoy it and yeah, just live it because you deserve it. I think that's, yeah. I don't think I would have done anything different. I think everything that I did, thank God, is like I can look back and be like, I would just pat her on the back and be like, you're in for a hell of a ride. And it's going to be long and it's going to be the biggest exhaustion that you've ever felt in your entire life. But just like soak it in because it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be sick. And I love you.
That's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday at midnight, please tune in. Christy, thank you so much for joining us. The door is always open for you.
Oh, thank you.
Can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it again whenever you want to. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
You guys are amazing.
Of course. Every Thursday at midnight, you know what it is. Holla. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit, it gets real with only one and ill. You're locked into me.